Today, I'm gonna show you the correct way to mix hair color at home in your bathroom. We're gonna go over permanent cream and liquid. Anytime you get a hair color, the first thing you wanna do is open up the box. Inside, you're gonna see the manufacturer's directions in about 5 different languages. We're gonna go with English today. Under the application, it's going to give you a ratio. It'll either look like this, 1:1, or like this, 1:2. Different color lines have different ratios. This one is going to be a 1:1. The first number, the 1, represents the amount of hair color. The second number, which is also a 1 in this case, represents the amount of developer. So 1:1 means I'm going to use equal parts. If I use an ounce of hair color, I'm using an ounce of developer. Because remember, we went over in the last video, you have to have developer, that clingy boyfriend, mixed with hair color for this to work. So if you have a high lift color that is reading a 1:2, and high lift colors often come in hair color tubes like this. A 1:2 ratio means 1 part hair color, because it's the first number, to 2 parts developer. In the salon, we use scales. We measure things by weight, more specifically Pacific Ocean, more specifically with ounces. This is the scale that I use. You can pick this up on Amazon. I'll link it below. It's about $11. It's a kitchen scale for weighing your food, meal prepping, whatever you do in that. You can also use it for hair color. This is the most accurate way to measure hair color, but it is not needed. So if you wanted to measure with the scale, you're gonna turn the scale on, put your color bowl on, and it's gonna weigh the color bowl. You're gonna zero that out because you don't want to weigh the color bowl. You wanna start fresh. Put in your color. Let's do a 1/2 ounce. In most hair color tubes, there's about 2 ounces. It'll say that on the bottom, and it will also read it on the side. So when you squeeze out the hair color, you can see how much exactly you have left in the tube. So if we did a 1/2 ounce of hair color, and it's a 1:1 ratio, we're gonna do a 1/2 ounce of developer. You can either do the math, a 1/2 ounce plus a 1/2 ounce equals an ounce, or you can zero out the scale again and just put a 1/2 ounce of developer. You don't need a scale, you don't even need a hair color bowl, and honestly, you don't even need a hair color brush to make this happen. You can use a Tupperware bowl like this. This one's from the Dollar Tree, or any kind of plastic bowl. It just cannot be metal. When you put hair color, lightener, bleach, whatever you want to call it, in a metal bowl, it makes a chemical reaction with the hair color, and it makes spotty results on your hair, and sometimes it turns green. To measure it, you can use something in your kitchen like this TBSP, a tablespoon. So you'll do a tablespoon of hair color. Get that out with a brush. And a good little tip is to always distribute the hair color in the bowl first, and kind of do this. Poke it, fan it out. That's gonna really help the hair color not be chunky when you're trying to mix it up. So if you did 1 tablespoon of color, you're gonna do 1 tablespoon of developer. Equal parts, whoop, in the Tupperware. And then mix it together. You can also use a kitchen whisk. We use whisk in the salon. I would have a designated whisk though. I wouldn't be mixing hair color and then go whisk your biscuits. You know what I mean? You can use a makeup brush for the hair color brush. Your hair color should look like this. It's creamy, kind of frosting-like. It's not flying off your brush. This is what liquid hair color looks like. Comes in a bottle, it's liquid. So the cream hair color is used mainly for the bowl and the brush application, brushing it on. This liquid hair color is mainly used for the bottle application. You can put this in a bowl and do the brush, but it's going to be kind of messy. They're both permanent hair colors. The only difference is the texture or the thickness. Again, we're going to open the box. This is also a mixing ratio of 1:1. So 1 part hair color with 1 part developer. You can do this the same way. Use the scale, measure it with the tablespoons, or measure it with the bottle. This bottle is 2 ounces, so I'm gonna dump it in the bottle. Most bottles will also tell you on the side how much is in here. So since it's a 1:1 ratio, that's equal parts, I'm gonna do 2 ounces of developer. Most of the time when I use liquid hair color, I use the clear developer to keep the consistency very liquidy if it's going in the bottle. If it's too thick, it's gonna get stuck. So we're gonna fill the bottle up. Whoops. All the way to the top. So this is 2 ounces of developer. Pour it in here. Put the top on, and you're gonna wanna cover the hole and shake it up. This is how you mix it up. And this is what it looks like, a very thin consistency. Again, going to give you the same results as permanent cream hair color. It's just the thickness that is different. One thing to remember is the hair color that you're mixing up needs to be used immediately. We can't just mix this up, set it down, and then decide to slap it on in a couple hours. You need to mix it up, put it on your hair. You cannot save leftovers and use them next week. Quick recap. If your hair color is saying mix in a 1-to-1 ratio, that means 1 part hair color to 1 part developer. Excuse me, yeehaw. Equal parts. An ounce of hair color, ounce of developer. Tablespoon of hair color, tablespoon of developer. Cap full of hair color, cap full of developer. Doesn't matter what kind of measuring tool you're going to use, it's just going to be equal parts. If it's saying 1-to-2, for an example, a high lift color, that means 1 part hair color to 2 parts developer. An ounce of hair color, 2 ounces of developer. A tablespoon of hair color, 2 tablespoons of developer. A cap full of hair color, 2 capfuls of developer. 1-to-2. Hope that made sense. If you have any questions, please leave them below, or any video suggestions about hair you would like me to cover, let me know. If you haven't already, make sure to check out my main channel, Brittany Alexis. It's an entertainment channel if you just want to have some fun on a Sunday. And if you're coming from that side of the internet, thanks for joining me on this side of the internet also.